Hello, welcome back to Chapter 9, Section 8, completing the square. And in this example, this video, I'm doing problems on page 649, problems 5 through 10, and I'm going to solve equations by completing the square. So watch this video carefully so you can see how we're going to do this. I should have mentioned this earlier, I just now thought of it, but as we go through Chapter 9, we've talked about different ways to solve equations. You can graph the related function and find the zeros. You can solve by factoring. Those two things do not always work though. You can take the square root. That does not always work unless you make it work, which is what we're doing now. So we're making the square root work. Right now, if I just tried to take the square root, nothing's going to happen here. But I can actually complete the square to make that step work. And then the final lesson will be in 9.9, where we talk about putting it all together with the quadratic formula. Okay, so remember, here's the steps. I'm going to take this number 6, what's being multiplied by the x. Here it's 6, over here it's negative 8. I'm going to divide it by 2, and I'm going to square that number. That's going to allow me to have a perfect square trinomial. So 6 divided by 2 equals 3. 3 squared equals 9. I'm going to add 9 to both sides. X squared plus 6x plus 9 equals negative 5 plus 9. On the left side, I'm going to factor this into x plus 3 times x plus 3. And I'm going to write it x plus 3 squared. On the other side, I have negative 5 plus 9, which equals 4. Now I have set myself up to where I can take the square root. I'm going to take the square root of the left side and take the square root of the right side, remembering that I need two roots, the positive and the negative. So I get x plus 3 equals positive 4. I even put the plus sign there. I'm going to go ahead and solve this one. Add negative 3 to both sides, and I get x equals 1. The other equation I get is x plus 3 equals negative 4. So here's my 4, here's my negative 4. Gosh darn it, I did it again. I can't believe I did that. Negative 1. And of course, square root of 4 is 2. All right, so now I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. It's late, I'm tired. That's my excuse. And I get negative 5. Okay. Got to remember to take the square root. Let's do number 6. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. And negative 4 squared gives me positive 16. Sorry, I had to duck down for something. So I'm going to add 16 to both sides. X to the second power, subtract 8x plus 16 equals 9 plus 16. On the left, I have a perfect square trinomial. X subtract 4 squared. That is what I get inside parentheses here. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. I also get it, what two numbers multiply to give positive 16 but add to give negative 8? Negative 4 and negative 4. On the right side, 9 plus 16 equals 25. Take the square root of both sides. That's what I'm doing now. And I get x subtract 4 equals positive 5. Keep solving by adding 4, and I get x equals 9. The other equation is x subtract 4 equals negative 5. Because the negative square root of 25 is negative 5. So I add 4 again, and I get x equals negative 1. All right, now this next one gets a little tricky because what number do I have multiplied by the x? It's going to be the hidden 1. I don't know why that happened. So I think 1 divided by 2 is 1/2, and if I square it, I get 1/4. So I get x squared plus x, or I almost thought about writing 1 times x, but that's okay, plus 1/2 equals 30 plus 1/2. Okay. On this side, oh, excuse me, sorry. 1/4. 1/4. I'm telling you, it's just a late night for me. I'm trying to get these videos done on time. So I get x plus 1/2 squared equals, and I'm going to put these together by making a common denominator. This is 30 over 1. So this is going to be, if my common denominator is 4, this is going to have to be 120 over 4. And when I add, I get 121 over 4. So again, if you got questions about the fraction part, which again, that's kind of an elementary school thing, which is okay, you know, I'm just saying that's where it comes up. Then if you're still confused by that, a lot of people are confused by fractions, then please ask in class or ask in the discussion. I'm going to take the square root now, and this is nice because I got 121 over 4. The square root of that is going to be 11 over 2. Okay? So I've got x plus 1/2 equals positive 11 over 2. And x plus 1/2 equals negative 11 over 2. I'm going to subtract 1/2 from both sides, and I get x equals 11, subtract 1 equals 10, and 10 over 2 equals 5. Over here on this one, I'm going to still subtract both sides. I'm going to subtract I'm going to subtract 1/2 from both sides, or add negative 1/2. And I get x equals negative 12 over 2, which gives me negative 6. So yeah, I know it looks really complicated with this, but it ends up being all right. And again, I'm going to move on from the next problem, but if you need to look at that more, just pause it and look at it. Number 8. 2 divided by 2 equals 1. And 1 squared also equals 1. 1 times 1 equals 1. So I have x to the second power plus 2x plus 1 equals 21 plus 1. Okay. What two numbers multiply to give 1 but add to give 2? 1 and 1, which is the 2 divided by 2 in the parentheses. On the other side, I get 22. Wonder if this one was a typo also. There's nothing wrong with this. This is actually a good Algebra 2 problem. We don't do square root of 22 in Algebra 1. So that's why I was kind of confused by it. So I get x plus 1 equals positive square root of 22. So x equals negative 1 plus square root of 22. And that's actually what we would do. We would leave it. The other equation is x plus 1 equals negative square root of 22. So x equals negative 1 subtract square root of 22. And of course we would leave that too. I was just a little confused why they gave us a square root that wasn't a perfect square, but maybe they expect us to do that at this point. Negative 10 divided by 2 equals negative 5, and negative 5 squared gives me 25. So I'm going to add 25 to both sides. That last problem is still kind of bugging me. I really think that was a mistake, but that's okay. I added 25 to both sides. On this side, I get x subtract 5 squared. And remember, that number comes from what's inside parentheses here. Forgot the squared. What's inside the parentheses here. And also, it's what two numbers multiply to give 25, but add to give negative 10. So either way works. On the other side, negative 9 plus 25 equals 16. Take the square root, don't forget the plus or minus, and I get x subtract 5 equals 16. Add 5, and I get x equals 21. Excuse me. I don't know why I keep doing that. At least I caught it. X equals 9. Square root of 16 equals 4. And x subtract 5 equals negative 4. I'm really worried about myself. Why I keep doing that. I'm usually not doing that. And it's all being recorded too. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides, and I get x equals 1. Maybe I shouldn't have waited so late to make my videos. I don't know. All right, last one in this video. I take the 16, I divide it by 2, and I square it. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 8 squared equals 64. So I get x squared plus 16x plus 64 equals 92 plus 64. I remember that 16 divided by 2 is 8, so I do x plus 8 squared. And 92 plus 64 should be 156, which is not a perfect square, so I wonder why they threw that in there. Take the square root of both sides, don't forget the plus or minus, and I get x plus 8 equals positive square root of 156, whatever that is. I don't remember them saying anything about grabbing a calculator. The directions did not say estimate, so I'm confused by that. So I get x equals negative 8 plus square root of 156. And I put the negative 8 in front. I don't do square root of 156 subtract 8. The other one is x plus 8 equals negative square root of 156. So I get x equals negative 8 subtract square root of 156. Okay, we'll see you in the next video.